Premier League season starts tomorrow. We're all getting very excited, I'm sure. Kicking off with Liverpool and Bournemouth. However, as this time of the season rolls around, it's time for our predictions, and we'll be going through them top to bottom with myself and James. Say hi to everyone, James.
Hello, everyone.
So let's start, I think, right at the top, and it's going to be
Yes.
winner of the league. I know who
Yes.
you're going to go for.
Yeah, we'll do team first, and then because we're going to do team and individual and the same thing. So yeah, we'll start with the winners. Makes sense. I've obviously gone with Liverpool. Shock.
I mean, usually I would invoke the bias here, but since you've had such a great window after already winning the league,
Yeah.
well, I say
To,
great
to
window.
be
I
honest,
think it's
I'll be honest with you. I don't usually pick my own team to win. It feels weird to do it, but I'm actually quite confident in ourselves this year.
normally Liverpool really don't do much when they're on top. They don't strengthen as hard as other teams
Yeah.
have. But this year, I mean, so far, you've done pretty good in the window. However, I would still argue it's only been a good window, not a great window. So,
Yeah, I
my
think
prediction.
by the sounds of it, though, that's going to change. But yeah, we'll discuss that later down the window when these transfers actually happen.
Yes. So my winners for this season, in my opinion, I think I'm going for Manchester City. And again, I think there's a couple of reasons. Primarily, Pep's last season, I think he'll have a real point to prove.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll be anywhere near as bad as last year, and they still did pretty well. And they were pretty close to Arsenal in the end.
yeah,
And I think Haaland, amongst others, if he can stay fit, will have a much
yeah. I
better
think that's the
season.
key, isn't it? If Haaland stays fit, then it obviously automatically
Yeah, I
gives
mean,
them.
Rodri being missing for a few months is a massive downer. I think if he wasn't
Yeah,
injured, I would be much more confident. But
yeah. I'd be
although it haven't
interested to see what they do about Roger because obviously that's where they struggled last season. I don't think they've really bought in even a backup. I still don't think they have a backup for Rodri.
not
Ryan
really.
just
I think
isn't
they
really
got
that type of player.
Nico Gonzalez, was it in
Yeah, but he didn't
January?
really hit the ground running,
Nah,
did he?
he hasn't. I mean, he's no Rodri. So potentially an area of weakness. But again, if they can get anywhere near the play style and the form they had, and just even if they're conceding a few more goals, if Haaland can get up and running,
Yep.
I think they'll outscore most. So for that reason, City number one for me.
Yeah, I don't think I can disagree with that. I think it'll be close, to be honest, between City and Liverpool. So, yeah, to be honest, I think this season as a general will have a very interesting title race.
Yeah,
So moving on to top four in that case,
yeah,
then
that
let's
that
see who will be in
segues
that title
nicely
race.
into the top four title. Yeah, the top four race. I don't expect it to be as much of a runaway as Liverpool last season. I'll be honest.
No,
I do expect I expect three teams to follow them pretty closely. The rest of the last year's top four: Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
yeah,
But the order I've gone for is Chelsea second, and then Liverpool, and then Arsenal.
you've gone Chelsea second. Wow.
I've gone Chelsea second,
Even though
and
you've
now
lost two of you, you said Chalobah's injured, right? As well.
no, it was too sunny that day. The manager said so. He just wanted to nip off for
Okay.
a bit, but
Okay.
but yeah. So no,
But you've
I
lost
think
Colwell either way, so I mean, unless you replace him, I think that'd be a tough ask for Chelsea to get second.
it's true. It's the one area of weakness in the team, I would say, at the moment. But saying that, got a lot of faith in Shalaba and
Yeah,
Tosin, and I like Achimpong and Hato, of course, has come in who can do a
yeah.
job there as well.
To be
So
honest, I
it's not
can't see
like we're
Chelsea
dead
not
on the
buying there
ground.
either. I can't see Chelsea not buying for that position. But and
There's
who did you have
potential.
third and fourth again?
So third, Liverpool. I think you'll be pretty close. It might be a
Oh, you
straight
think
shootout.
Chelsea will finish above Liverpool?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
a
do know what
bold
it is,
shout.
and until Liverpool sign Isak, and yeah, get in the two defenders. I know they've got Leone pretty much confirmed now,
Yeah,
but I
he's
think I
there we
think
go.
you're Guehi and an Isak away from a real push, just
Mm,
because you've lost as much as you've signed Verts and the two fullbacks, which are great signings. I think you're
yeah,
you're still down on depth, especially with, of course, it has to be said, Jota, the tragic passing of Jota and his brother. And then, of
yeah.
course, you've lost Diaz as well, great player, and Nunez. To be fair, that'll be a
To
benefit.
be honest, I actually agree. I think unless we bring a forward in, whether it will be Isak or someone else, I'm pretty sure it'll be someone that's of first team quality rather than backup quality that we bring in. I'm pretty sure that's widely reported at this point. I do think it will be Isak, but I see your point. Until that's confirmed, it's kind of hard to
Yes.
really base the season on it, because there
Yeah.
is definitely still a chance where that doesn't happen as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I was very certain Isak would join, and but the longer time goes on, I don't know what it is. I think Newcastle's inability to sign people is worrying me a little bit for that deal.
Yeah,
And I wonder whether the Saudi ownership might want to make a bit of a
yeah,
statement, and that players can't just treat that club the same way anymore.
yeah,
So they
potentially.
might just want to keep him around and
Yeah,
force him to. I mean, he's got 3 years as well. Don't forget, it's quite lengthy. So
yeah.
yeah, for that
I
reason,
can
and
see a world where Isak doesn't join. To be fair, and I think
100%.
that would have an impact on where we finish this season. To be honest, I think if we don't get a top forward, then there'll be obviously.
Struggle. I do think you're going to get Guehi and Leone, so you're only a forward away. But
Yeah,
let's watch that space.
let's move on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the
Let's
rest
get
of your top four.
Yes, so I've got so obviously Liverpool champions, and then I've got City finishing second, and then Arsenal, and then Chelsea. I was actually toying with putting Chelsea third. The only reason I haven't, there's a couple of reasons actually. One is the injury to Colwill. I think that's obviously he's your best centre back.
That is a killer.
But also, I mean, your season ran very late last season. You've not really had a massive break,
No
and your
one knows.
preseason has
Yeah,
been
even
short.
the managers. It was interesting. Maresca actually said like when asked about how it'll affect the team, he was like, I don't know, and no one does because
Yeah.
this is the first time it's ever happened.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
a great
definitely a
point.
weird one. It will be interesting to see if you can, because the thing is, you have to think your preseason is important for fitness, and if you're going to miss that, then chances are you.
Well, this is the thing as well, though, right? So it might be the case that we're actually sharper because we've had less of a break, but it might be the case that also we'll run into the ground
I think you'll
early, like
run
maybe
out of steam a bit.
October, November, December. We might start to hit a bit of a barrier,
Yeah,
or we might just get a lot of injuries. But it seems to be in preseason just very quickly. The 2 games we had, we looked very sharp.
yeah. You did. To be fair, yeah.
So maybe the sharpness will be there,
especially.
but like I say, the fitness or the injuries might start to rear their heads a little.
Like I said, I
So
think with Colwell, that's a big miss unless you replace him. And again, we have to deal with how it is now. You currently are running with very limited centre backs.
well, you say that, but we've still got Badiashile, Vega,
Exactly.
Tosin.
There's my point. You've got Badiashile.
Badiashile is
And
terrible,
he
but
will
nonetheless,
not be playing games in the Premier League. Let me tell you that, because he
there's a good
is
point there. But I mean,
not a good centre
Achimpong,
back.
Tosin, Chalobah, and Hato. I think they're mate, they're not bad. It's not like we're too light on the ground. We still have some guys in
Yeah.
there. I just don't think any of them are like, let's say, Premier League winning centre backs.
Yeah.
Like, there's the quality in a way, but it's not top quality.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Chelsea, it's just a case of centre back. I like the rest of his signings, so yeah.
I think we also do need at least one of Simmons and Garnacho, in my opinion. I think Gittins
I'd
as a
stay
full
away from Garnacho.
it's a lot to expect of Gittins to to be like the starting left wing straight away, 19 years old.
Yeah.
So I think Simmons would be, or Garnacho, or the both.
It's gone quiet
would
for
be.
Chelsea, to be fair, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think we're just getting outgoings out, but I can say again, it's hard one to sit here and do the predictions from the perspective of we don't know the last little bit of the
I
window.
know. I wish the window ended before the season.
I know,
I'm actually
I
one of
know.
the few that wants it to end before season starts. I think.
I agree. I think it would put the Premier League in a disadvantage, so they won't do it. But yeah. But like I say, we can only go based on what we can see at the moment. So I still think Chelsea will have enough to get second, fight with Liverpool for second, and I think Arsenal. I think Arteta's time's over. As much as I love Gyökeres, he gets injured, they're right back to where they were, and I think losing Partey will be an issue potentially.
Yeah, and I think that
Mendy is not that profile, which he's not going to replace Partey in that sense.
Yeah, and I think just quickly before we move on to top 5, European places,
European
is I mean the reason I was toying with putting Arsenal fourth, Gyökeres scored I think he scored 38 goals or something in the league, didn't he? 30 of them were against the bottom 10 teams.
Yes. Yeah. He's a bit of a flat track bully potentially.
It's one of them. We literally don't know. I can't tell you if I think.
You could also say just very quickly on Gyökeres that he scored 3 against City. So
yeah, but it's a bad City side, wasn't it?
Wow, you say that, but
he had so much space against City that he could just do what he wanted, like he needs. I think he's a player that needs space, and that's why he's a transitional striker as such. because you'll get more space on
Yeah,
transition and.
I still think he'll bag 15 goals at the minimum around that mark, but I think he could even light us up with 20 plus goals. He could be a one to watch for sure. But yeah, so
Yeah,
top
let's move
four.
on to European places.
Yep. So first differences already in the top four. We don't agree. In fact, on any of the top four. So let's see how we go for
Yeah,
European
I
spots.
agree.
Who are your bets to round out the European places?
So I went 4, and I'm still toying between which one of them gets 5th and which one of them gets 6th. I still think it'll be. I was obviously saying to you the other day. I think it'll be Newcastle and Spurs. That get.
Newcastle Spurs. Interesting.
Yeah.
You still got Newcastle there?
As it happens, we're recording this just off the back of the Spurs PSG game, and
Yes. Yeah.
I think Spurs. Yeah, I mean under Frank they look like a different team already. I think they might not
Yeah.
be getting the results as such, but I think 2-2 against PSG is a very good result for Tottenham.
Yeah, and as much as I loved Postecoglou just for the character, I think he was naive in the league, and I think that's
Yeah, I
one thing
agree.
that Frank isn't.
Yeah.
He's intelligent and adaptable in the league.
Yeah.
And I think just they've signed a couple of good players. I think they're probably a player or two away, but even if they didn't, they would still be a lot more competitive. So
Yeah.
I also
And
have
I like
them
their back
in
line a
my
lot.
top European spots, just along with actually Villa instead of Newcastle.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
I
quite.
don't know. I just feel like Newcastle have been punched in the guts so
They
hard.
have. I think again it kind of depends, doesn't it? Because if they manage to get a striker in that's similar to Isak's level,
you and I
mean,
both know that player doesn't exist. Otherwise, you'd have bought him yourself.
I know. Well, yeah, true. But okay, let's rephrase it. If they manage to get a striker in and replace Isak, because Isak I don't think is gonna have, even if he stays, he's not gonna have a typical Isak season. It's just not. It's too much fuss around it now. So if they manage to get one of those strikers in, and they've signed Theor today, centre back, which I think they needed centre back.
Yeah, and Jacob Ramsey's coming in. But
Jacob
again,
Ramsey
they
as
don't
well.
replace the goals, and I
Elanga.
don't think they're the focal point. I think they need a quality striker to have any chance of myself.
No, I can't. And I suppose the other thing we need to think of here actually that I kind of brushed past a little bit when I did the prediction was they've got Champions League football now this season as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So they automatically need to up a gear to get Champions.
Same can be said for Spurs though. I mean, although Villa have Europa League, still a grueling schedule. So
yeah, but it's not the same though, is it? They can rest players again. They'll be favourites going into the Europa League, I think.
Yeah, especially with Emery.
And they've not signed anyone, Villa. So it's
I know they have made one first team signing now. Yeah, Gesson.
Yeah, Gesson. Yeah.
However, I think it is slightly less pressure and less demand on the squad Europa League for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that Spurs will just have enough to get in there myself, and again with Villa. But you're going Newcastle for that one, yeah? Okay.
Yes, yeah. Newcastle, Spurs. I think it'll be in that order as well. Newcastle and then Spurs.
Yeah. No, fair enough. A slight difference of opinion there, and let's just see how that one pans out. But that takes us to. The bottom three, or should I say, who's going to be relegated?
Yes.
Now, this is interesting.
I think we'll have different opinions here.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's a hard one. I think both of us, I can safely say, are looking forward to hopefully not seeing the same three promoted teams going down again.
Yeah, I think the last one was Forest, wasn't it?
3 seasons in a row would be a death knell for the Premier League, in my opinion, especially since we market it as the most competitive.
Yeah, but especially when you consider the gaps just seem to be getting bigger each year. I mean, I know it's only technically been 2 seasons, but the gap between last season and the season before, I think.
Mate. Teams. It's not like you say if they were coming up and giving it a good go, but I mean, Southampton were the whipping boys. They almost beat Derby's record. They never looked close to the pace. And again, I don't think any of the others did particularly either. To be fair,
no.
Spurs were just a place above them, and they were comfortable still. I don't think they were ever looking like going down. So with that one, I think my predictions, I have got one of the promoted teams, in my opinion, giving it a good shot to stay up, and that would be Sunderland. I do have Burnley bottom and Leeds probably second bottom, and then I think as much of it might be a cop out, I've got 2-3 teams that I think are going to be fighting to stay up. They are the existing Prem
I
teams,
hope
and that
I
would.
hope you've got one that you think is going to go down and not three.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna. If I had to go with it, I would put my money on Brentford. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
basic. A lot of people have said the same, but I just don't see a world where you can lose what like 40 odd goals, your
yeah,
manager and your
I agree.
captain, and not
I
really
agree.
replace them, and still have a comfortable season.
Yeah.
However, I do also just I think the Wolves, I eat Nori and Cunha, big
Mm.
losses.
Not
And I
really been
think
replaced
West
either
Ham
properly.
with Potter and 30-year-old strikers plus,
Yeah.
that could be sketchy as well. So
That's very interesting, actually, because I actually have the exact same bottom three. I think it'll be in that order: Burnley, Leeds, Brentford. Yeah, for me, I keep saying it. It makes no sense that the only guy that didn't follow Thomas Frank to Spurs was Keith Andrews.
yeah, yeah,
He's a set piece coach the season just gone. I mean, he's a set piece coach and he's going into a manager's job,
that is the biggest promotion of
replacing
all
Thomas
time.
Frank. I mean,
Yeah.
genuinely, it seems so mental that they've gone with that decision when Sean Dyche is right there.
You know what? Honestly, I think do you know what? Sometimes you see this as well, and I think it's going to be interesting this year because Sean Dyche is hovering there in the free managers market,
Yeah,
and I think you're just kind of wondering which one of the owners is going to be smart enough to sack their guy first,
I know.
because
Yeah,
whoever does that and gets will most likely get Dyche, and I think they'll have the best chance of staying up.
I think Leeds should have
So
done it when they had the
yeah,
chance.
Farker, but like I say, I think sometimes you get that, don't you? Where you like, well, it used to be maybe a Sam Allardyce or someone like that,
Yeah,
and you just think, right, okay, well, if anyone wants to stay up, they're all looking at each other like who's going to pull the trigger first. And I think whoever does that might have a chance.
yeah.
I think Burnley are just not got enough all around, to be
Burnley
honest.
are
I think
just
I think they're gone.
they're just a flip flop team, aren't they?
Sorry, Burnley fans, but yeah,
they'll
I mean,
come about.
as much as I like some of the signings, I think 20 million on Breuer, like someone like that, it sounds like a good deal for
Yeah,
20 million, but he's scored
he's one of
zero
those players
goals in
that
12 games.
keeps being talked about as a promising striker, and he keeps
Yeah,
getting
mate,
bought.
yeah.
It's like, or he keeps getting loaned, and he's either always injured or he doesn't actually score any goals.
Well,
And for
the injuries are a
somehow he's still
problem.
talked
You're
about
gonna
as
need, yeah, yeah, and I think that on top of that as well, I think he had was at Everton last year, 12 games,
I think
zero
so. Yeah,
goals.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
You ain't staying up with that. I'm
No,
sorry to tell
I
you.
agree. The only weird thing about saying Burnley are going to go down and it's so guaranteed is the fact that they now have Carl Walker playing for them, and he was champion of England 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, but one right back doesn't.
No, I
Do you
know.
know
It
what I
just
mean?
feels weird that Carl Walker's going to, I think, be in a team that's
Do you
going to
know
go
what though?
down.
I think even someone like well, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's just signed for Leeds. I know a lot of people aren't particularly inspired by that signing, but
Proven goal scorer though in
you
the
know what,
Prem
the guy, if he
when
can
he's
get
fit.
you if he can stay fit and get you 10
Yeah.
odd goals, that could be pretty significant.
Mm.
And I know it's not very inspiring. No one's going to be getting him on the back of their shirt in Leeds, but you know what, it could be the difference.
I think
So
it's exactly the type of player that you need to sign though. And actually, I think Leeds have got a chance. I think I'm with you. I think Sunderland have got the best chance of the promoted
this is
teams,
the
but
thing
I
about
think Leeds
Sunderland, though.
have
I don't
got
know
a
about
chance.
you, but the other two have been in the Prem. Scott Parker's had a chance, and
Mm.
Farker's had too many chances.
Yeah,
Um,
Scott Parks had
and,
two.
and none of them have managed to do it. Whereas the Sunderland manager hasn't actually been in the Prem, so he's a bit of an
Yeah,
unknown quantity.
yeah. But
I
I
think,
think Sunderland will be the most ruthless. I think they're most desperate to stay in. To be
yeah,
honest,
I know somebody.
seems like
They've lost two good players. The winger to Brighton, can't remember his name. But also they lost
Adingra.
Job, of course, Bellingham. I think it's Tom Watson actually to
Oh,
Brighton.
sorry. Yeah, the other way. Yeah, is
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So as much as they might have lost two first team players, they've genuinely been very ambitious. I like
yeah,
Habib Diarra from
yeah,
Strasbourg, very very good midfielder.
yeah, and obviously Xhaka as
Um,
well.
yeah, Shaka, absolutely the type. Like you said, experience. That's what you
Is
need.
what you need, yeah, especially in the midfield.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely, and he's solid as well. He's absolutely solid.
yeah,
No nonsense type player. So Sunderland, expect it to be tough. I think they need to get some points on the board early. I think any of them that want to stay up will do. I think if you get it rolling away from you, you're in for a very very tough season. But
mm,
Sunderland would be my hopeful pick for a team to stay up.
yeah,
So at least we kind of agree on that point.
yeah. Do you have a dark horse team that you think will do better than what people think
Yes,
or not? You do.
if anyone is going to emerge from the mid-table pack and win a trophy or get a Europe spot, or maybe finish eighth and get lucky,
Mm,
my pick would be Everton. New stadium, Grealish
okay.
confirmed. Moyes,
I
absolutely
don't see them as
underrated.
much of a dark horse though now because they've made so many good signings. Like
Well, yeah,
Grealish,
but I
Grealish
don't
is
think
a
anyone's
good
expecting them to
signing for
get,
Everton.
push for Europe. I think they might be saying they'll have a good year, but I don't think any, I think with Grealish, I think with Asnu and a couple of the other players they bought, Moyes
Yeah,
coming in for a full season there.
yeah,
I mean, I think West Ham might be ruining the fact they've sacked him by the end of the season potentially. That would
yeah.
be my pick. What about you?
I've kind of just contradicted myself because I'm on about how it's not really a dark horse because of the signings, but I've actually gone for United because I think people think they're going to be worse than they are.
It's
So I've kind of
no,
just contradicted
I
myself there.
didn't even think. I think United will be happy with a top half finish. I
I
genuinely.
can I can genuinely see them getting Europe, and I'm not kidding you. I can see a world where we actually just get a traditional top six back.
See, you
Um,
know what? Yeah, potentially, but I think that I really liked the idea of Anarim when he
mm,
came in, but the guy's been so unbelievably poor tactically. And in
yeah,
pre-season, I've been keeping an eye on United to see if they've started to
yeah, I feel
adopt his philosophy. There's no sign of that. The United fans, from what I understand, they're still very frustrated with the same things.
mm,
And if his excuse was, well, once I've had a preseason, once I've got some transfers in, maybe you'll start to see his style. But I don't see it, and I think for that reason, yeah, they'll be too stubborn to sack him very quickly, and that could derail their whole season.
yeah. I think a lot of it depends on Belieber, doesn't it? But let's
Oh,
move on to player predictions.
player predictions. Yep, I'll tell you what, James. If you want to start us off with your pick for top scorer.
Yes. Yeah, I've gone for Haaland. I think, to be honest, I
Same.
think every season the pick will probably be Haaland while he's in the Premier League, and
Yeah,
it's
mate.
because you kind of
Yeah,
have to judge it on him not being injured. So
yeah.
if he's not injured, he's probably going to get top scorer.
Well, if we started doing these predictions based on like trying to predict injuries, we'd
Yeah, that's
be
what I mean. Is
we've got to go based on what we think of full 38. Well, as much as they might play a 38 game season,
yeah,
I think Haaland in any 38 game season gets close to 30
yeah,
goals.
I agree.
And I
Yeah,
don't,
I
do you know what?
can't
Yeah, I
see
don't
it
think
going to
Father
anyone
Time will
else.
catch up with Salah completely, but I would struggle to see him outscoring 28, 30 goals.
I think mainly because again, especially if we bring Isak in, it's hard to judge off it.
He
But
won't be relied on as much to do
no,
that, right?
even
Yeah.
even just with Verts and Ekatike, it's just
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
goals are going to be more spread now. I think that's kind of what Slot's
Yeah,
going for.
yeah, yeah. You've not got Nunez missing like
Yeah,
absolute sitters, so he won't feel the pressure too
no.
much to do all on his
I,
own.
I think he'll still do strong in the assist department, and I think he'll still
I,
do strong in the
I still,
scoring
I think
department.
I
But
could see him getting 25 to 30 goals and assists still, but I don't think he'll get
yeah,
close to. I don't think he gets more than 20 goals this year, Salah, in my opinion. I think
last
he gets
season was just a freak,
close
wasn't it?
to.
It's like
Yeah, yeah.
one of those
Okay,
seasons that's hard
interesting
to.
point of agreement with Haaland, and that brings us sort of to our top playmaker or highest assister.
I think we
I'll
might have
start
the
you off.
same one here as well. Actually,
If you've gone for ice cold Palmer, then absolutely, yeah,
I have gone for ice cold Palmer.
yeah, mate. I think as much as people say he had a bad season last year, he got underrated amount of numbers for a 22-year-old. He got what was it?
To be honest with you, I think with this one, I think he was misused a lot last season. But I think
Yeah,
actually towards the end of the season, especially at the Club World Cup, Maresca kind of figured out where to
yeah,
get him the best out of him a bit more. So I
yeah.
think we'll have more like a season that he had the season before
It's
under
interesting you
Poch.
say that actually, because obviously as a Chelsea fan, I keep up with it a little more. And in some of the things Maresca's been saying in some of his interviews recently, he did say basically the way they set up their whole tactics is how can we
Mm,
engineer situations for Palmer, basically. And
yeah,
he's started to work out how we can best maximize like space on the pitch. And I just think as well with better attackers and other better players around him in the forward line,
yeah,
he'll have much more. Well, the conversion of assists will be higher. It will
yeah,
just get higher numbers purely without. I mean, Jackson was fine, but his XG underperformance was there for all to
yeah.
see.
You're
And
instant upgrade, especially if Pedro plays like he has been in
oh yeah, mate,
Club World
Pedro's
Cup and pre-season.
unbelievably clinical so far. So
Yeah.
yeah, Palmer, easy choice. It might not get there, but I think he'll be very close either way. To be honest.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think it. To be honest, it could be a few different players this season.
Mate, Verts could be in there. He could have Salah in there.
Salah could be in there.
100%.
So.
Clean sheets, Golden Glove. Who are you going for?
Ooh. Okay. This one's actually interesting because I don't think many people would say this player, even though I think is the best keeper in the league. I don't think many people would say Allison because Liverpool don't typically keep it that many clean sheets as a team. But I
You know
think
what?
this season, I've just got a weird feeling that he stays fit the whole season and he gets the
It's not particularly about Allison per se, although it is obviously, but I think it's just the fact you've got two new fullbacks and potentially a new defender. There's a lot of chemistry still to make there.
I think, to be honest, I think the early season will be rocky with defence.
That's what I
It's
mean.
already
I
kind of
just think
shown
that
that
because
in
of that, like
pre-season.
having to bed so many new people in,
Yeah,
especially with defense as well. Defenses have to be so like the chemistry has to be there, and it will be, I'm sure. But I just think, like you said, the first few months you might struggle to keep clean sheets. You might be winning games by
but I think he
one
picks it
goal.
up. I think we'll pick it. We'll find the right balance in the team after a month or so, and we'll be all right.
Do you think so? I think, mate, sometimes with the defenses, it could take you like 2, 3, 4 months. Honestly,
no, I think we will. I think we will.
Okay, interesting.
Because I think
but for the reason I said, I mean, I was very close to because I still think you know with Van Dijk and Alisson, you've got to think about Liverpool for that.
Yeah.
But I've gone for Raya. I just think Arsenal's defense.
Yeah, it's the easy choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be honest, I almost went with Raya, but the reason I didn't, I don't think they're going to be as sound defensively this year, just because I think Partey was such a key point, like in stopping transitions.
He's the water carrier, and he's the shield. He's the shield in the midfield.
I don't think Zubimendi is necessarily going to be the. I don't think he's going to break
he'll
up
help
those
him retain
transitions
possession
as much,
better, and start attacks in a more fluid and consistent way. But I just don't think defensively, like you say, he's there.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So yeah, fair point. I mean, you've gone Alisson though. You've won for your boy, yeah.
Alisson, yeah, for clean sheets. To be honest, this one was tough because I don't see. I don't think
a lot of
City.
people will say Raya just because Arsenal seem to have in Arteta's phase 74 have gone for defensive prowess and long throw-ins. So let's see if that continues. But anyways, this is one of the more exciting ones I wanted for us to talk about actually, and this is concerning breakthrough prospects. Now we had a bit of a debate around the parameters in which you define that.
Yeah, just before
we've gone for, and I'll just highlight it to everybody so they know where we're coming from here. Yeah, this has to be someone that is an academy graduate that really hasn't either played a lot of minutes or has just come in for his first season, and for that reason, I'll start us off with, and I hate to say it, another Arsenal man, young Mr. Dowman, Max Dowman. I've seen little bits of this guy, 15 years old. Don't want to put pressure on a young kid like that, but if he can play some minutes or get a few more minutes like Lewis Skelly, this kid is absolutely crazy.
The only thing that doesn't really put me off about Dowman, I'm pretty sure he's got the quality, but Arsenal don't, because they had, like, let's put it this way, they had Nwaneri last season. They didn't really play him.
No, but I suppose in his
position, they did, but only when Saka was out, and as soon as he came back.
Well, yeah, you're never going to put Nwaneri in over Saka, are you? To be honest, it's tough for it.
I think it's going to be. I think Dowman plays the same position, right?
No, I think Dowman is more of an 8.
Is he? Okay.
He can drift in the half spaces. He's very technical. He can carry the ball, but he's insanely technically gifted from what I can see. And he likes to just make those progressive runs, and he can play off and link up with people, drop in the half space.
Right. I don't know too much about him, to be fair. I just kind of heard.
No, I mean, like I said, I could be. I'm sure the Arsenal fans. I mean, to be fair, I'd love anyone that does know about this that happens to be watching. Please do fill us in on this man, because I'm sure you'll have more insight than us if you follow Arsenal more regularly. But again, from what I've seen, unbelievable talent. So I think, given the minutes, he would be my pick. Who would you be looking at? I'm thinking someone over in the red of Merseyside.
Yeah, I've got to go Ngomora, haven't I? Because I've already seen kind of pre-season how he's been. And
is that how you pronounce it? By that, I always just say Rio because I'm sure.
Ngamoya. I don't really know, to be honest.
Ngamoya
is what I always say.
Yeah, whoever he is, Mr. Rio. To be fair, again, I've seen because of you mainly a little bit of Liverpool pre-season, and this kid is dynamite, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good. He's quick. He's skillful. He can dribble. He's actually got a good shot on him. I think the only thing that he probably needs to improve now is just decision making, as always comes with experience, to be honest.
Yeah, that's not something you can just. Yeah, I mean, if you have good decision making at that age, you're a very special guy. But I think what you do want to see from wingers, especially in the Prem, is you want someone who can beat a man inside or out and has pace.
I'm pretty confident he could come into the league now and do all of that kind of stuff. It's just the end product, really, I think would Like I said, I
Yeah,
mean, he's got a good shot on him and stuff, and he's
yeah, yeah, yeah. Can
it's
he go
just
inside and out, like to beat his man? Can he
yeah,
go
yeah,
down the line, inside?
he does any of it.
How's he with
I don't think he's got
what?
much of a weak foot yet. That's
No, I was
probably
gonna
still
say I was
developing,
wondering if
but
he's fairly ambidextrous or not.
no, he kind of seems quite one-footed.
Yeah, like Gittins, to be honest.
Yeah, but
But no, interesting.
I
I think
think
he'll
he'll
get
get
minutes
minutes
too as
this
well.
season.
Yeah, I think you've promised him a chunk of minutes, haven't you? By the sound of it, so
Well, actually, very soon. I think it's either 17th or 18th of August. He gets his pro contract, and he's already part of the first team setup now. Same
yeah,
as Trey Neoni,
yeah,
who I could have actually put Trey Neoni on there because he's been really good in preseason as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. What about Mr. Ben Doak? Is it Doak?
He's a bit of a weird one to be honest. He's actually quite good.
I've heard some good stuff about him. I seen when I doing the
Again, he's
research,
quite
I've seen,
quick.
yeah.
He's actually one that can use both feet. To be honest, he's quite good with both feet.
Position?
He plays off the right, Salah's position. Quite quick. He's decent at dribbling. He's capable of beating a man. I just don't think he's got quite as much of that in his locker as
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think he's one of them that you could probably fetch 20-25 million for now. It's already been quoted somewhere. How?
Yeah, yeah. You're thinking cash in and get like a Jordan Ibe kind of money.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of them. You get him off the books just to get an instant
Fair
hit
point.
of profit.
Interesting. Okay, so breakthrough prospects discussed. Do you know I was a bit? I wanted to go for a Chelsea man, but I think like with the category of having to come through the academy, as much as I like say a Josh Achampong, or yeah, there's a few other good guys that have had a few minutes for us in preseason, but I think they won't get the game time. I think I can see Rio and Dauman getting a bit more game time.
Yeah, I think Rio will probably, especially in cup games, you'll see him. But I think maybe off the bench every now and then, and he probably, I can just see him doing well when he comes on. And then,
agreed.
You know, when you get those players, sometimes they come on and they have a really good game, and it's kind of hard to take them out of the next game and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think as well, to be honest with you, that's why I think we only need to see you sign and one more forward, because I think I'm counting already Rio as like a replacement for Diaz, for example.
Well.
So
he's actually very similar in style of play to Diaz as well.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, moving on. This kind of ties in with some of the others, but let's go for it. So, player of the season, who would your pick for player of the season be?
Okay, so I've gone for who I think will be the best player in the best team. Obviously, I've had Liverpool winning the league, and I think Wirtz will be the best player.
Wow, in the team. You're all up on your new signing, aren't you? I mean, to be fair,
he's got a backy boy.
No, he's got an insane pedigree, hasn't he? I think he's one of only with Salah too. I mean, you've got the two people now who have got double figure scores and assists last two seasons.
Yeah, there's question marks obviously of people that come from the German league, isn't there? But I think first half against Crystal Palace he was really good. To be honest, he didn't play great second half.
But to be fair, Palace were well up for that game, and I think you made a few changes, didn't you? And it looked like you weren't particularly. It was more of a pre-seasoner for you.
I don't want to say that because I don't want to discredit Palace, but I mean they certainly. I mean, Dean Henderson.
You could see on substitutes though. You put on and you put like 4 players on, didn't you?
Yeah, and also Dean Henderson was right.
Looked great.
Penalty positions on his water bottle and all sorts for a community.
Oh man, Henderson with that cap on is a scary prospect to tell you.
He's top at saving penalties. By the way,
he's very good.
He really is.
Mate, I tell you, Jordan Pickford's not had enough competition for a while. Just incidentally, I'd like to see.
I can see it.
Trafford, Henderson, people like that. I'd like to see him push him a little for that. Not that I don't like Pickford, but I just think he's just, you know, you don't want to let him go stale, do you?
You want competition.
Too comfortable in those sticks.
Always. Who have you got player of the season?
Player of the season, I think it goes hand in hand with City winning the league. I've gone
Haaland.
for Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick another City player, but weirdly, you know, without like De Bruyne and like
it's weird because you don't know, because Rodri, you don't know how he's going to come back from injury.
Yeah, Rodri's not been there.
Marmoush hasn't been there long. You've not seen Cherky yet, really.
No, sure. Do you know?
It feels like a brand new team, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I think someone could emerge, but for me, I think if Haaland's grabbing you 30 goals and you win the league, I think you
could be Reinders.
There's an argument to be made for him at that point, isn't there? So, yeah, that's my pick. Fairly simple on that. And let's not labour on that one too much. Let's go straight into the slightly different category of young player of the season. Now, this can be non-academy. One has to be under 23 at the start of the season.
Yeah. So the way this is categorized officially, I think it's under 23 when the season starts, and it can just be anyone. So
Yeah.
anyone that's under 23 when the season starts.
So, for example, Palmer 23 now wouldn't count,
I
but
think so.
Verts
Yeah,
22
Verts
you could
22
probably
would. Yeah,
squeeze in there. Yeah, cool.
yeah.
Um,
I'll
you go
start because
ahead. Yeah.
it's kind of on top of the point that you just made about Turkey because I've actually picked Turkey as my young player of the
You
season.
know what? He's one of those. Yeah, I have either massive excitement and think
Mm.
he'll light it up because he's a flair player, but just playing for a Pep in a Pep system, and I've seen
Yeah.
him. He's a little bit of a luxury player, and Pep doesn't do luxury players,
My
so I
my
can
question mark would be attitude mainly for him. I think.
attitude. And the thing is, just because he's a new signing and we're all excited, Pep does not care, mate. He will not give this guy game time if he thinks that he's not going to do what he wants him to do on the pitch.
Yeah.
We've all seen that. He buys players. He just randomly, puts on like a right back in his position instead,
Yeah.
and that's just the Pep way for you.
We have seen that many times.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I could see Nico Riley getting more game time than Shirky. I tell you, and Nico O'Reilly. Um, but
It's
I mean,
possible with Pep. It really is. Yeah.
given the right system, and if he puts his head down and he starts to learn and adapt quick, he's a very exciting player as well. I think
Mm.
he got like in it the highest number of dribbles in Liga last season, pretty comfortably.
Yeah, he got a high number of goals and assists as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is
yeah, and
really
he
good.
finally started to match it with
Yeah.
like I say, goals and assists. So
Mm.
yeah, interesting choice, and I can see why you would have chose that. My choice, however, and I wrote a few down here, but I'm erring on the side of, and I know it sounds a little biased, but either Delap, Miles Lewis Skelly. I know he's already had a good season last year,
Mm.
but it's young player of the season, not breakout. I
Yeah.
think he can consolidate that. Nwaneri, I've also got down because I think he'll start to get more minutes. But yeah, I
Mm.
think if I'm going to go for any, I'm going to go for Armand Delap. I think in a proper
Okay.
team.
I don't think he'll be a starting striker though.
Maybe. Do you know what? It's one of those because obviously with us having Champions League and all the other competitions, he will get game time. And I think if he starts to score goals, which he bagged 2 for us in the last game of preseason, there's a player in there.
Mm.
I think if he can improve on his number last year. And I think if he gets 15 goals in his first season, that's going to be a very, very good season.
Yeah.
So, and I
Yeah.
don't see many of the other players. I wrote down people like Gittins. He's not gonna. I don't think he'll have as good a season.
Yeah.
But for me, it was either Delap or our man Esteval.
Yeah.
Because I think Esteval is. I mean, anyone that's seen him, he's just a special guy. He's a very, very special player.
Yeah. I've always said to you, I don't think he'll necessarily start as much as
This
you
is it.
think he
Because
will.
he's a young man, I think he wants him to settle in first, learn the language.
Yeah.
He's not going to pressure him into it.
Physicality of the league and stuff as well. It's completely
Delap's
different
ready.
to Brazil.
Delap's ready.
Every now and then, though, you do get a Brazilian player that can just walk straight in, or just any
mate,
player from somewhere.
He's attitude and maturity for his age are probably his most outstanding attributes. Like this kid is like insanely down to earth. He just loves God, his family, and football, and that's dangerous when you're also Brazilian.
Yeah, that is a dangerous
Mate,
combo.
there's none of this like Lamine Yamal DMing Mia Khalifa online or anything like that. Like this kid is he sleeps with his Bible, I think. So that is dangerous.
Yeah, but you'd take a Lamine Yamal, so maybe he does need to help Mia Khalifa.
Do you know? Well, yeah. Well, saying all this, honestly, I think second half of the season, for example, Esteval is going to surprise a few people. He's ready to kick
I
on.
can see it, to be fair, but yeah, it's one of them. It's just the unknown. It's impossible to predict.
Yeah.
I think, especially if it's not this season, maybe next season he'll probably nail that starting spot, won't he? But
right, and we're going to do 2 quick hits to finish off. So very quickly, give me your manager of the season and first manager to get sacked.
Oh, I didn't get. Oh, actually, I mean, yeah, I would. I didn't write a manager to get sacked, but I already know I'll pick.
I want to put you on the spot with this.
So manager of the season, I've obviously gone for Slot because I think he'll win the league.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
if he wins 2 seasons in a row, first off, yeah, he's manager of the season for sure.
Yeah.
No Liverpool manager in the Premier League era has retained a Premier League title. Just put that out there. That would be an insane achievement.
I bloody hope he will, but we'll see.
I mean, this is the sort of reason as well. I know it sounds like it doesn't mean anything per se, but it's kind of significant, and that's why I didn't feel comfortable putting Liverpool to win the league, despite the good stuff you've done. So That's a good pick
That's
from
fair
you. I mean,
play.
if he does do it, he will deserve it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I can, like I say, it goes in with the player of the season. I think Pep
Mhm.
last season pretty much confirmed. If he wins the league, signs off in style, sets up this
That is
new
a good
team
point,
for a
though.
new era.
Pep's last season, you just know it's going to be a good one, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I mean, you said that about
Although I'm
Klopp
still
though,
not
so
convinced he
it's not
won't
a
sign a new
guarantee.
contract. But
Yeah. But yeah, Pep, and of course, I would suggest it would be Scott Parker or Daniel Farker,
yeah,
or
mine would be Daniel
or
Farker.
our favorite set piece coach, Brentford.
It could be Keith Andrews. It could be.
But I think the Leeds board, the reason why I think we both said this one is because they're already thinking about replacing him,
Yeah,
even
I
though they
think
got
it'll be a
promoted.
case of. I mean, if they were going to be that ruthless to even before the season
Yes,
started,
I think they're
it's
going to give him 10 games and or maybe even less.
I
And if
don't even
he's
see that.
really, you know,
Yeah,
crap the bed, let's put it that way. I think that he will be. He won't be. There won't be backwards about going forwards.
yeah.
Leeds about getting rid of him. I'll be
I've not
honest.
seen
So
their starting fixtures to be fair, but I could imagine 5 or 6 games if he's not picked up many points.
I mean, let's just say 5 games, they've got 1 point.
Yeah, he's
He's
gone. Yeah,
he's diced.
it's
Yeah, he's diced.
I think they have to.
And maybe they'll be diced. And they'll be very
Yeah,
lucky.
yeah,
But yeah, no, that's all of our
yeah. They'll be
individual and team
diced.
picks. I think we've covered a good range there, and
Yeah,
there's no doubt a few controversial ones. Although I think some of them as well seem to be in line with the prevailing wisdom at the moment. I think Brentford, everyone acknowledges they're in some kind of trouble.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well, some people. I mean, some people still think they'll be all right, but I just can't see it.
yeah. Well,
That's
anyways,
too
we've set
much.
ourselves up now for public ridicule in 9 months' time, 10 months' time,
We have.
and let's see, mate. Or let's say potential, we could be looking like an absolute genius if one of us gets a good number of these right. So
50 quid on it now. Every single one of mine is correct.
I'll take that bet all day. If you've got all of them right, mate, you need to be going on Sky Bet and putting this on
No, I
because
don't
that
think
would
I'll
be
get all of them
insane
right.
odds.
Yeah, that would be.
Not sponsored by Sky Bet.
Although we're open, we are open.
But yeah, anyways, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Please do engage. We'll definitely get back to the comments. Especially while we're in a fledgling status here, I think both of us agree we would love to get a little community going.
Yeah.
We'll be replying, and we look forward to hearing from you. But again, until the next episode, thank you.